All right. And we are live. Apologies for being late. We got to pay some bills first. So, hello. My name is Barry Eversley, aka Lord Cognito of the Iron Lords podcast. I'm part of the Inner Circle Network, and I'm applying for Pax East 2018.
This is David Johnson, King David of the Iron Lord podcast, Lord King David of the Iron Lord podcast, in association with the Tick Network. This is my video. Oh man,
What you applying for?
This is my video submission for PAX East 2018. I knew I was gonna mess it up.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, we get.
All right. So it's my turn. Everyone, be quiet. Hello, my name is Arliss James Lewis, aka Lord Addict of the Iron Lords podcast. I am part of the Inner Circle Network, and I'm applying for PAX East of 2018. So let me in.
Where'd your face go? He slid it to the side.
No, I'm not on there. Like, what's going on?
No. You fine.
You fine. Sov, you up, baby.
Click. When they talk, click that actual box so it only shows their face.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Brian Andujar, and I am Lord Sovereign of the Iron Lords podcast, and I'm part of the Inner Circle Network, and I'm applying for PAX East 2018.
You might want to test the light on, man. You could be anyone right now.
I know, right?
The bills have been paid.
And the camera goes off.
And the camera's off.
And don't forget to drink responsibly. Iron Lord's beverages.
Oh my God.
Yeah, baby.
And we are live officially. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 49. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. We've got Sony CEO changes, Nintendo Switch success, a Red Dead Redemption 2 delay, and Sea of Thieves to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. So let's introduce the four horsemen of gaming and those usual suspects at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, and the how of the young wolf. He's gone.
He's gone.
Shot him out anyway.
He's been gone.
Lord Addict. He's gone. I left the building. And of course, we've got our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, offline profile, Illuminati. My man, Lord Sovereign. How are you doing, sir?
Doing fantastic. I had to scramble there to find the Iron Lord shirt. You know, I forgot we were going live today.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. This is just a great show. We just starting off a
It is. And it's down just the two of us. Ooh, we
And
can make it if we try.
Oh, there you go. You back. You
He's
back.
back.
No, you back.
I don't know. It didn't
Back
like
now.
what you were saying.
As you were saying.
Yeah, so basically, I had to go running for the Iron Lord's shirt because I didn't have it on. I completely forgot.
No doubt.
And had to get pretty for the camera, you know.
Gotta get fresh. I respect that. And of course, we have the excess gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions and demands nothing less than that premium experience.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. What's going on, everybody? Last night in combat sports, it really wasn't a boxing night. They had that HBO crap that I was talking about, and I did not tune in. I'm sorry. I would rather two rats fight in the street than watch that HBO crap. But I heard I heard the UFC had a knockout drag out, but one person was being dragged out and knocked out. I would have loved to tune in for that. Listen, next time tweet me, let me know if the beatings is going down so I can tune in, because I definitely would have loved to watch that. Also, Lord Sovereign again. Hello. Also, we have I think I have 5 large t-shirts and 2 small t-shirts available. Hit me in the DMs on Twitter, and so we can facilitate getting those out, because that is the last of the this batch actually. All right, so this is the sample batch. So you'll be down with the original Iron Lord T-shirts, and the next one will be the E3 T-shirts. We'll definitely go out to all the packs. I think packs is first, right?
Yeah, PAX first. We got PAX up.
So yeah, so then the PAX T-shirts will be next up to bat, and the E3 T-shirts will come in a variety of colors. So
Nice.
hit me in the DMs for that.
No doubt, no doubt. And of course, it is Lord Cognito here, spreading that gaming realness on the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So let's get into what the Lords have been playing this week. Lord Sov, what you been touching, man? What's been going on in the games?
Not too much, actually. Like I finally got to play Celeste, and yeah, that's a great little platformer. Like it really is. Like the mechanics of it, where like you get different dashes. So you get a dash, and it allows you to sort of kind of jump in midair and go in different directions. And there's a grapple thing where you grapple onto walls. So, I mean, once they start incorporating all these different mechanics into the game, it really gets kind of devilishly difficult. And it has a bunch of little cool options. Like if you want to make the game easier, you can literally like slow the game down and you'll be in slow-mo, and you can like redo certain jumps and stuff that you failed. The story's pretty cool. I know Kaibatsu finished it. I'm not even anywhere near that. But it's a very cool little game. And I think Night in the Woods came out. I haven't picked that up, but I want to pick that up for the Switch because I know I didn't play it on the big console, so I want to pick it up.
I'm hearing good things about that Celeste. I mean, shout out to Rand. I believe he had he was like it's low key his 2018 like game of the year already. Like people are pumping it up like big time.
It has that sort of Meat Boy thing where like you die, but you come right back into it. So it's not like a frustrating death where you have to wait around and you're like, man.
Do it all over from a different point.
It throws you right back in there, and it'll throw you right back in on the screen that you were, because it's screen based. So you go one screen, there'd be kind of like a puzzle you have to solve in that screen to move to the next one. And then there's different ones where there are different secret ones that you can find that'll give you power-ups and stuff like that. But it's all screen based. So if you die in that screen, or if you turn it off there and save there, it'll be right on that screen. So it's not like you're ever too far away from like a quote unquote checkpoint or something like that. So that's good because it keeps you engaged and not angry.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Lord King, what you been rocking? What you been playing this week?
Oh man. All right. So the Monster Hunter crap. And
oh no.
Which we know since last week you're such a tremendous fan.
Well, I'm waiting for my boy Chris to get it. Once Chris gets it, then because usually you'll power through something if you're powering it through with somebody. I guess it's one of those things. But I've been playing Destiny with that update that came out, and the Iron Banner was out here, so my man is definitely lit with all the Iron Banner new clothes, and I'm liking the direction that they're going in. Yeah, so they're working hard on it, and they're trying their best. Is it a little too late? I probably think so, to be honest with you, because I find myself in the middle of playing Destiny, craving for some PUBG, and we got our chicken dinner. Shout out to Cole this week. We got our chicken dinner. Me, Hot Monkey's loving, be playing all the time, and Chris. So, and Monkey Punch, shout out to Monkey Punch. Monkey Punch, yeah, he was in there on that chicken dinner. So it was definitely a good move. Is this Switch game that's coming out called Dandara? That game looks amazing to me. It's a black protagonist. She is fantastic. It hops around like Meat Boy. And it just it's from Long Hat House. And it just looks incredible to me. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't play my Switch that much. When I do, I really play the first party big AAA titles. But this one game actually looks really good to me. So I wanted to know if you knew about it or something like that. Or
no, I haven't really heard too much about it. What's the give me break that name down again?
It's called Dandara, Dandara.
I've never heard of it. I'll be on my Dizzle with Switch.
It looks
kind of surprised. I don't know about it.
Insane, like it looks really insane.
Frog, what up? Lord Sinister, what up in the chat? I see bad people. Nick Fury, man, the chat is lit. That's what's up, man. That's what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely look into it.
Yeah, I'm not saying Destiny 2 is dead, Anchor. I'm saying that how many times can you allow someone to mess up before you just say, enough is enough? And you try to fight it, fight through it, and you try to, listen to what other people say and dismiss it, but you really can't, because a lot of their points are super valid. You can't say to anybody who, was playing it and said, are they sick and tired of every time they turn around, they mess up this part or they do this part wrong. Listen, there was a ghost that was 3,000 glimmer. There was no way for me to get 3,000 glimmer to get this ghost unless I purchased it. So I was like, man, you right back at it again. Like you really can't get it straight. You should have gave me the ghost. You should have threw the ghost in my pocket and was like, yo, do that, man. Take that with you. You got like 3,000 hours. Go do that. But no, they didn't. No.
I feel, shout out to the finest in the building, the saltiest podcast repping. I see Punctish in there, Nick Fury and the crew.
Everybody's relevant. In there. What's going on?
Guys.
Yeah, Salty. Oh, hit me back in the DM. I don't know if you hit me in the DM. Hit me back in the DM, Salty, so we can see if we can make that happen.
No doubt. So yeah, man. I mean, for me, it's been kind of similar, Lord King. I mean, I've been touching Destiny since the latest update, getting a little Iron Banner going on. Iron Banana. Been rocking that, trying to get the ornaments going.
Didn't me and you jump on like one day? Yeah. It was one day, right?
One day we rocked out. And Monkey was in there. And I've been messing with that Switch. I actually took a little break from this to police for a little bit because I heard like I'm very close to the end and I got a trip and I kind of want to finish it like on my flight. So that's my goal. I kind of switched off of that and I kind of jumped back into Mario plus Rabbids. I want to throw that back on and get that.
Yeah, did Donkey Kong come out yet? That's what I want to get back in.
And the reason why I started is because I heard like you got to finish it. I think for the Donkey Kong stuff to kick in. I guess when it release, I'm assuming it's some continuation of the story, but we'll see. Shout out to Sam Tobin in the chat, baby. I see you. Yeah, man. So that's pretty much been it for me as far as the gaming what I've been playing. So let's talk about that poll from last week. And the results are in, and the people have spoken to the question: with an Austrian game retailer declaring they will no longer stock Xbox consoles after the recent Xbox Game Pass announcement, do you think that this will have a negative trickle-down effect on retail? The winner at 79% in a very lopsided three-way ILP poll is the no. Complete overreaction to the future of digital games group. Coming in at second at only 21% was the yes. Xbox Game Pass threatens retail group. And coming in at third place with absolutely no votes, 0%, is the don't care. I'm unsubscribing to Game Pass when I beat the games group.
Man, ain't nobody doing that.
Ain't nobody doing that.
Nobody's playing that part of that crap anymore. I tell people that all the time. I'm unsubscribed. Yeah, you know you're not.
Thanks to all who participated in last week's vote. Lord Sov, so we feel that was the people feel it was an overreaction. Do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I think, again, this is a retailer that obviously doesn't, in Europe, they're not selling a lot of Xboxes. It's easy for them to turn around and be like, no, we're not dealing with this. Like I said last week, if it was Sony, if it was Nintendo, they would have zipped it. They would have stayed quiet and they would have tried to figure out how to work with it. Mm-hmm. Xbox isn't selling over there. It's a natural reaction for them. And this, and the thing about digital stuff and physical stuff, physical games aren't going anywhere anytime soon. There's too many bandwidth issues throughout the world for digital to be viable across the world, in the next.
Oh, we lost.
I think he's about to drop, and especially with the net neutrality situation that's going on. And listen, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna Tango and Cash this. Every time he fall out, I'm gonna jump right in and finish his sentence like Run DMC. He's Run, I'm DMC. Yeah.
Technical difficulty Lord Sob's gonna do. But yeah, what you feel about it, Lord King? Like what you feel?
I just feel that, Duke was looking for his clout card. He got his clout card up. He was like, yo, this is the time for me to shine. The store hasn't been selling stuff. I'm gonna like to see his fiscal reports. So once he said it, everybody was like, yeah, those people out there taking a stand, them Sony stands, they was out there, yeah, we're buying more from you. Sony people don't buy games, so please.
Oh, my Lord, here we go.
It don't even matter. They don't buy games. They don't.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
It keeps disconnecting me.
I got you. I know. You hardwired? What's going on, man?
Yeah. No, I'm hardwired. It just keeps disconnecting me.
No, what it is, he's been targeted by the Sony police. They've been
Done.
on you, son. They're getting one of us, son. They're getting one of us today because they don't want this message out there today.
Yes, we
They don't
know
want this
what's
message.
coming from you. We know what's coming.
Yeah.
You was finishing up solving on your point before you got disconnected.
Oh, I mean, the last thing, yeah, I just look, this space games are going to be around for quite some time. If you want that, you're going to be able to find it in a number of places. I said the bandwidth situation worldwide is not such that digital is going to be viable for everybody, not even within the next 15, 20 years. So you'll find disc games if you want them.
No doubt, no doubt.
Let's hit those like buttons, guys. Let's get that. Because there's 26 of us, but it's only 18 chickens.
The finest coming for your neck. He said, stop it, King. 634 million software sales, bro. Watch yourself.
Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. So finest. I want you to break it down. Because when I break it down, I want you to break it down with me. All right? Get your pen out. Get that math ready. You said 600 million software sales? On what? The PlayStation 3? Come on. Let's go for it, baby. Let's do it.
No doubt. So we're going to get into these topics for the round table. We got a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to set it off with his Mr. Imperial himself, Lord King. A lot of news going on in the Sony camp. What is going on with Sony right now?
I'd like to take a moment to reflect on Kaz Hirai.
Oh my God! Did somebody die?
Kaz Hirai has stepped down, forced out, shunned to the side from Sony, and you would think during this part of prosperity, if they sold 70 million, this would be a time to elevate the man, put him at a higher statue. But just like the man before him, Andrew House, he has been pushed to the side, slide out, unceremoniously moved over. And this comes at a particularly weird time when everybody's fiscal reports are coming out, right? So you say, oh, the fiscal reports is out. Let's start with Nintendo's fiscal reports. Nintendo has sold more Nintendo Switches than Wii U's in 1 year. In the whole lifespan of the Wii U, Nintendo has sold 14 million of them, right? Here comes the Switch that sells 14.x about million and made it the fastest, highest selling Nintendo system ever. The software sales dictate that same thing. You take one particular software, Mario Odyssey, in particular, the height of the software, the system sales, it sold 9 million units. Right? Now, we know digital hasn't really been able to be tabulated properly. So you got to say that's all physical. Okay? So then you look at Zelda, and Zelda has sold 7 million units. If you do the ratio and you say at least half of those people, half of those 14, each brought Zelda and Mario, it works out. The numbers equate. You know, when you're checking your books and your balances, it works out. Microsoft also has dropped their fiscal reports as well. They don't really go into the Xbox division as much as you would like to hear the numbers of the system sold.
They're very not forthcoming with a lot of those numbers.
They keep it close to the breast. They playing the game. They playing chess, not checkers, and you understand because you're coming from a losing perspective. Yes, we all do know that Sony outsold them in system sales, but we also know that companies do not make money off the first couple of years off the system sales. It's really the tail end of the systems. When you say year 6, year 7, where they start to see a small gain of profit off of these systems, and usually at the complete end of their system cycle and into the new system cycle is where they make the money back off of super old tech that can be sold at cut rate bargain basement prices, right? So you say Sony sold 70 something million systems. Kudos to them. You would think that the guy that's in charge, Kaz Hirai, will be in line for bonus, but he got a pink slip. And now you say, how does that happen?
Wait. He didn't get a pink slip.
All right, you know what they did? You know what they said? Because he did a lot for them. He's been there through the PlayStation Vita. He's been through He's been through the PSP, the PlayStation 3. He's actually helped them through their hardest times and helped
through
them
their hardest
navigate
times. Yeah.
wild waters. And for them to say, you know what, listen, we're gonna let them say that you quit. Just the same way as Andrew House had to quit. We're gonna let you get this respect, so you wouldn't say that you were terminated. Because it doesn't look good going in this industry. I mean, he did a lot for them, and I really do appreciate his hard work and his due diligence inside the PlayStation format. But the numbers weren't equating, because if you have 70 million out there, if you take 1% of that 70 million, let's get 7 million games sold in one day. Let's do that. How about that, guys? Didn't happen. Now, let me show you why. You have 40 million Xbox One X's out there and regular S's and all that. Xbox, right? You have 40 million. Let's say we got 40 million. 1% of that purchase PUBG. 4 million was sold.
Right.
Right? That's what I said. 1%. Name one PlayStation game that has sold 1% that could tell you 7 million was sold.
We're gonna have to bring Lord Piscatella back. Get on him on the show.
Because
we're back to the Illuminati Lord podcast again.
I would like to mention that the Inner Circle does not endorse all opinions expressed.
You
You're the I Lord podcast.
You shouldn't. But what I want you to understand is Phil Dominus is in a position to change the way we view things going forward. Nintendo has just announced a game service that they're going to be doing in a line like a Game Pass type of thing as well. So games as a service is going to be ushered into that way. How I see it is, do you feel that Kazurai left because the PlayStation was winning in such a dominant faction and he wanted to go out on top? Or do you feel like Kazurai left because he knew that the coming storm and the floodgates were going to allow you to see under the curtain of what's going on at Sony?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. From what I'm gonna jump in. From what I've seen, I mean, he made a statement himself saying that he was stepping down. I believe an article went out to Variety saying that he was worn down from constantly traveling as a CEO, desired to spend more time with his family. Now, I believe the person who's replacing him, was taking his spot, Yoshida. He has a reputation.
He's the CFO.
Yeah, he has a reputation of kind of being a hatchet man. Like
cut and splash.
Right. So when things are not producing, and from a standpoint of different departments in Sony, he was the guy like the Grim Reaper. If he came around, you kind of felt you might be in trouble on some level. As far as Kaz's impact to Sony, it was tremendous. I mean, this is the guy that was there from the PS3. He helped, kind of streamline, made them profitable. He really pushed them through the glory years. And I understand where you're going with this, King. You know what I'm saying? As far as
so you say, wait, but
why
okay,
is he stepping down now during the glory years, kind of stuff.
Yeah, and why hire the hatchet man if you're doing so good?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. At some point, CEOs are not going to stay in a position forever. Some people do have a tendency to want to either leave on top or they just legitimately get burnt out. So I'm going to take the guy's word for it for now, unless I see things, differently. The only thing I'm going to say that I'm concerned is I am concerned about Yoshida. And shout out to Lord Dreamcast guy. He put out a great video on this recently. Is that my thing? We have a hatchet guy in now the power position. I'm concerned from creatively, like from Sony's creative aspects. Like we understand that, like, they weren't necessarily happy that God of War took a little long and, to come out or whatever. And, certain little aspects. And the thing about Sony is they allow their first party to really take their time and to dive deep. So I'm concerned that if this guy's running around, kind of like putting pressure on people instead of having the Kaz Hirai viewpoint, how does that affect them long term? That kind of thing. Now, from my understanding, Kaz is still going to be on in an advisory role. He's still going to be, there. It's not like he's completely, disappearing. But, I'm not of the mindset that there's some type of conspiracy going on with this. But I'll let Lord Anchor and Lord Sov jump on their feelings on this.
I'll let Sov go first.
Well, my feeling on this is this. We have to remember, sometimes we refer to PlayStation as Sony. He's the CEO of Sony now. It's a big difference. For a long time, especially this generation, the bulk of what Sony has been PlayStation, right? PlayStation has been what's been propping up Sony. Now we're seeing a change in Sony proper, where their consumer products are becoming popular again. Their 4K TVs are becoming popular again, and they're pricing high-end 4K TVs in the realm of mid-range TVs. And back in the days, Sony's problem was that it was super expensive. All this stuff was super expensive and not necessarily the top of the line. It was always something kind of better with less of a name, but you wanted to get that Sony name. Right. Now, see, my thing with this is the Hatchet Man theory kind of is sort of in play, because now you're thinking about Sony as a whole, and he's going to be thinking about Sony as a whole in terms of the PlayStation business. I don't think he's going to be as willing to let a game stay in development for 6 years. I don't think The Last Guardian happens again. I think something like it gets shut down. So it is while I'm not, bringing out the tiki torch saying that it's all over, it'd be interesting to see the change in philosophy moving forward.
That's my concern.
So you just think that he's going to be there to trim the fat a little bit on the edges?
He's a more business-oriented guy, right? You remember, Kaz came from PlayStation, so his PlayStation is always his heart.
Right.
This is a guy that came from business, and he's going to handle it that way. Right. So it's just going to be interesting to see how he handles PlayStation and the leeway that they've had because of the success that they had moving forward.
Absolutely. Lord Anchor, what do you feel about Kaz Hirai stepping down and the new leader, Yoshida, taking over?
I'm a little surprised about timing, really, but I mean, this is also kind of typical, because if you're going to announce something, you announce something at the end of the fiscal quarter. So it makes sense why when they're rather announcing it. The only thing about it, though, that is strange is this is all of a sudden. But Sony tends to do this thing where they go through certain types of phases, and Microsoft is a little different in this regard, because most of them, they generally keep the same kind of mantra going all the way through. It's just slightly different changes. But when a new CEO comes in for Sony, it's an entirely different thought process.
Right.
Where, the guy before Kaz was a guy...
Andrew House?
Michael Stringer.
Oh, Michael Stringer. Okay.
Yeah, a part of all of Sony. His thing was that what he did was that he mobilized and got their media on the ball, where they were pumping out movie after movie and they're making hit after hit. They were making good movies. He came in, I think it was 2005. And so then we had Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, all the big successes. No, they made a ton of money. And so they really pushed their dominance inside of the movies and TV stuff, and they haven't been doing too well in those theaters for quite a while.
Right.
At least in the initial part. And so I think when Kaz came in, he came in 2012. And if you look at it in terms of the rest of the business and not just PlayStation, they slashed a bunch. They did not do too hot. Like one of the reasons they're only profitable is because they cut all these other divisions and restructured and all this stuff, which will make you on paper more profitable. It makes you money because you're not spending.
They get ready to sell a couple of their assets in the movie realm as well.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor. Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but we'll find out. But I look at it as Kaz was at a point of just getting the company back in the black. And that was his role, and so now they're just trying to get things back to normal, but sensibly, and they're going to try to expand all the rest of their stuff.
Right.
And I think that's what the real point of it is they did give PlayStation a lot of leeway because it was making money, but they also tried to bundle a lot of things in with PlayStation that did not succeed. Gotcha. PlayStation View, having their own programming.
Yeah, even when they had Vio laptops, and they had a lot of unsuccessful things outside of PlayStation and stuff being profitable.
Yeah, I think that's what the real issue is. I think what they're trying to do now is just trying to get to a place of normalcy, of the PlayStation isn't our only brand anymore. That's going to keep us propped up, because I think I mean, it's also a smart thing too. Like, you don't want any one product propping up your entire company,
Right.
and that when that product falls out of favor or something bad happens, you're doomed.
Absolutely. No, I hear you. I mean, I hear you. Now, shout out to Lord Franzarelli in the chat and Sam Tolbert. They're saying making some good points. Also, we have to be clear. Like, Kaz Hirai isn't leaving. Like, he's still.
Oh no, he's still there. He's a chairman on the board, but he's not the big dog.
So I just wanted to be clear. It's not like they. Yoshida's coming and just you're out of here, and it's a hostile takeover.
Like when the bullets start to fly, and he just got somebody up, the stun dummy up in his way to take the bullets. So I'm sitting on the board. I had nothing to do with that. Shoot that guy.
Oh my God.
I hear that. Hey, man, that's smart business tactic. You see something happening, switch. They do that in wrestling all the time. When Goldberg jump in the ring, he tag his man and get in there. But that's Goldberg. No.
What do we feel about, like I said, because of now? Let's talk about like the new guys taking over your shit. Like, what do we feel about him specifically? Like now coming up, like where are we at with him? Anybody can jump in.
Well, I feel, and I was going to surmise and come up, at the end of it, but I feel that at some point in time, you need that type of person that rules with an iron hand that is going to, take the lackadaisical attitude out of the company, and people's like, oh, this dude, he's over here, he's coming. Let's work a little bit harder. Let's push a little bit forward. Maybe you get more productivity out of the lesser productive parts of your divisions. Maybe that happens, and hopefully that happens. But what I want to see is software sales start to equate the hardware sales. That's what I want to see. Maybe he's there for that.
Okay. Lord Sov?
Yeah, like I said before, it's going to be interesting because this guy is a very business-oriented guy. He's about definitely staying in the black. So it's just going to be interesting what he does. I mean, this is a guy that was instrumental in like shutting down some of their initiatives when it came to like the computer initiatives with the Vio line and stuff like that, like because they weren't profitable enough.
Right.
So he's a guy that's kind of.
He's a guy that's kind of like the hatchet man, and what he would do is chop stuff up. We won't see big games like Jay Fonzarelli just stated. Do you think the big games will be back there? I don't think big games will be back there. No, I'm jumping in every time you fall out. I pick you up, brother. Don't you worry about it. And when you hear this podcast back, you'll be like, man,
Hangouts keeps booting me out and then jumps right back in. I don't know what's going on.
Don't worry, I got you. Go for it. I'm finishing your thoughts.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Continue, Lasso.
Yeah, so to me, it's just going to be interesting because, again, like this is a guy that's about the bottom line. And I know he understands the importance of the PlayStation brand for Sony, but he's going to want more efficiency out of them. You're not going to be having 7-8 year development cycles. I doubt very much. Gotcha. So it's going to be fun to see.
No doubt. Lord Anchorman, what do you feel about Yoshida?
I think he's going to be more like a peacetime kind of ruler. We're like, we're going to keep the status quo. We're going to do what we got to do, but we're not going to be like doing anything crazy like we've been doing the last few years. Like, money, whatever you got.
Memes?
Yeah.
No memes for him.
I'm gonna miss that. You know what? Though? I'm gonna low key miss the Kaz Hirai on the Twitter.
Yo, did you notice? That this is the conspiracy, right? I really believe that was him. I really believe that was him because all right, let's just think about it this way, right? He puts out a weird tweet in the day that said he's out or whatever, and then Kaz is that's it, I'm out. Like
no. The guy running that account announced he was quitting like after E3 last year.
Thank you, Lord Anchorman.
Yeah, but he just reiterated the same around the sense.
It's a giant joke.
I know, listen. I'm just joking around with that. I think that is so hilarious that happened. It was just so funny to me because we talked about it while we was playing PUBG, and I just found it so funny because I love his Twitter. I thought his Twitter was some of the funniest tweets that's on Twitter, and it's just amazing to me. I thought it was funny. I'm gonna miss him. Like I'm gonna miss Kaz. Not
you out of control. And on that note, we'll be moving on. Lord Sov, what's going on in the world of Nintendo?
Well, first of all, let me welcome everyone to Lord Sob's crystal ball of gaming goodness.
Talk about it, baby. Sov-Stradamus. Sov-Stradamus.
Sov-Stradamus, baby.
Sov-Stradamus.
If we all go back to the Iron Lord's archives, to ILG, it wasn't ILP back then. ILG.
Well, that's when we was ILG. Get the receipts out, baby.
Lord Smooth, Kid Smooth was on the on the show that day, and we were talking about, Nintendo Switch selling 10 million, and was that something that was not feasible at all? And so we've obviously realized that is completely feasible. So once again, if you guys need any sort of predictions, come to me. They're $50 a pop.
Sov-Stradamus.
$50 a pop. If you want correct predictions, they're $100 a pop. So, you know.
Yes.
He give you the 50 for 50 and 100 for the 100.
And if you want fake lists and fake news, go to King David.
This is what I'm saying. If you want the fake predictions, come to me. And if you want a no prediction, go to Anchor. Because he's going to sit on his hands and he's going to look around and not participate.
Oh, except when I am right, like this last week.
Don't come for me unless I come for you. You could be Arliss today if you like. My guns is ready.
So,
what's going on with this?
I was just going to talk about Nintendo numbers and Switch numbers in general, but there's a lot of information that came out this past week. So to start off, Nintendo profits are up like some ridiculous number, like 261%. Like they're back to printing money as they used to do. So that's fantastic for them. The Switch sales in 10 months have surpassed Wii U lifetime sales. Far surpassed Wii U lifetime sales. Switch sales are nearly at 15 million, and lifetime.
And lifetime sales, it's crazy. I think it was 16 or some change. But at this point in time, we feel and we know that Nintendo is going to start bum rushing the competition. At this point, do you think next year that they're going to sell 20 million? I honestly think they're about to do that. Before July, they'll probably be at like 20 million. Because the way the Switch, you don't even see them in the stores. You go inside the stores, the Switches aren't even on the shelves. And that's kind of crazy and kind of scary.
You're back?
Man.
It's all good. Continue.
All right. So with the Switch, obviously it's outsold the Wii U in a matter of 10 months. So that's fantastic for them. Their profits are up 261%. So I'm gonna get my points out as fast as I can before they cut me out. So we now when we go into the sales of games, these games, the first party stuff is really sold through the roof. Mario over 9 million, Zelda nearly 7 million, Splatoon nearly 5 million. These games have really is what have pushed the Wii U forward, and then also including the indie stuff on the Wii U eShop. That stuff has really held the system down in between, big releases, and they've been quality games for the most part. Quality games, all the great indie stuff that's come out on PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah, they're getting them a year later for the most part, but they're on the platform that I think they're going to get the most reception from.
Right. And let's not discount the fact that these indie games are actually selling way more on the Switch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than they do on Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Everybody seems to think, most people seem to think that that's portability for those games is ideal. Rather than sit on your $500, play it on your $500 4K system. You play it on.
Play it on the go. So what I think is where he also was going, because I'm about to cut out again, is what I was going to say is also, which is pretty impressive, is that being that they're so successful and they're selling tremendously, it looks like President Nintendo, he actually came out and they said they look like they're trying to expand the traditional Nintendo console life cycle for like more than 5 to 6 years, which is atypical. Like Nintendo's generally not one to kind of think like that. And for me, I'm gonna jump in right quick on this as well. Is that for them to think of it outside the console cycle that longer than 5 to 6 years, to me suggests that they're looking at upgrading the hardware. You know, what I'm saying? And continue to stay with the form factor, but upgrade the hardware. And we know their relationship with the Tegra chip. And we've seen that they also are looking to improve it. They're looking out to come out with a secondary version that's more powerful. And me personally, I would be all about that, and getting like an updated iteration, because I feel with the Switch, they have the form factor down. There's
The
something
Tegra
about
2 chip that you think it should be inside that we thought that was going to be inside the first one. Maybe
yeah,
this was a
exactly.
trial.
Mhm.
A trial run. We don't even know if this was a trial run and they put the cost-effective parts inside the system to go with a higher grade system later on down the line. If it was successful, that
Right.
could be.
Absolutely.
I think it's all fake news. I don't think they actually sold that many. I think they sold only 7, and they just say, "Oh, we shipped 15."
Tell
The
them
numbers don't add up.
You know what? And that's probably true. Yo, Anchor, you know what? That's probably true, and that would make sense because Zelda sold a 1-to-1 for the system, right? So they sold. Let's just say we go with your theory, right? They sold one system. They sold one Zelda, 7 million. You sold 70 million PlayStations. Oh, back to what I was talking about. Your fake news, and we know the truth. Oh, he left again. The truth is of the matter is their numbers is real. Their game sales is real. It all makes complete sense. What doesn't make sense is, and when it comes out, you're gonna look over at me and be like, "Yo, but he knew for a long time they couldn't fool him. Why they couldn't fool him? Why they didn't fool him? They didn't fool me because I'm not no fool. So it don't smell right over there."
Lord Anchor, what do you feel about this this recent even more Switch success that Lord Saab has been talking about?
I think it's all a lie. Without Smash Bros. No, honestly though, I mean it's great. I can't wait to watch BG throw his PlayStation out of the 2-story building.
Wait, what?
Oh man! Last year when the Switch came out, he said there's no way in hell the PlayStation the Switch will sell as a 15 million by the time of 1 year.
What?
It said if it does, I will throw my PlayStation out of a 2-story building.
Damn,
tell him to link that to our podcast because I like to see that as well.
His account was conveniently deleted.
I would conveniently delete mine too.
What's up, man? You still having the issues, man?
Yeah, I'm back. I disconnected and reconnected again. We'll see. I don't understand what's going on.
All right, continue, Lost Out. This is your topic.
Yeah, I haven't even heard what you guys were saying, but all right.
No, we was just talking about software sales.
We are talking about that. I was talking about the Tegra, and then how that basically Nintendo said because of the success they want to go past the 5 to 6 year normal traditional console cycle, and then I started talking about maybe another hardware iteration and the Tegra 2 chip. That was my point.
Yeah, I think that I think it'd be smart that they stay with that form factor. It's a Nintendo thing, so you just never know. But my hope is that they stick with it. But they're showing success at every corner. Like the SNES Classic is sold over 4 million, and that's only there has been some scarcity in terms of trying to find
How many software sales did that? It comes with it on it, so they sold. Okay, I get it.
They sold all of that. And then I've already seen a bunch of hands-on. Gaming media has gotten their hands on Labo, and most people love it. So it's gonna be one of those things that I think is gonna sell crazy.
Everybody say the same thing when they hear it. So everybody that's touched it loved it. Everybody says the same. Yeah. Like, oh no, it's coming.
I've been hearing rave reviews about Labo too. I've seen about 3 in depth. Yeah.
There's gonna be some rioting in the streets for that. I already know. And then just everything else they're doing. Like they're finally making a Mario movie as animation, which it should be. It should have always been that.
Oh man, I wanted the live action joint.
Bring Bob Hoskins back from the dead.
The live action joke.
The price is rolled.
And then we have what surprised me a little bit
was the fact that he dropped out
He
again.
dropped
It
again.
surprised him. And when he back though,
Yeah, I'm back. What surprised me was the Mario Kart Tour for mobile, because to be honest, like their mobile stuff hasn't hit like I think they expected it to, and I kind of thought they'd be sort of like winding down that a little bit. I mean, they just shut down Bitomo. The only thing that's done really well has been Pokemon Go, and it's not really even theirs. So I'm interested to see what Mario Kart Tour is, but again, I guess it's worth it to them to put it out there and make some money off of it. Yeah. So at every corner, man, they're doing well. They're really doing well. So, and then the online service, of course, was the online services. It is what it is. It's $20 a year. So,
but you heard about the announcement, right?
About what in particular?
About the announcement of the game for service and the fact that by September their games online will officially launch. So you'll get a more fleshed out viewpoint of what their online is going to consist of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking for $20, we have to be conservative in what we expect from it.
Well, I can be conservative, but I'm gonna be angry. I need my voice message in there.
No,
I've been nice. I've been very nice with them. I've been patient. They delayed it the first time. Okay, cool. I need voice message. I need a real party chat. Like I'm sorry if you're asking me to pay, even if it's $20. You got to give me basic functionality that your old system had, that the PS Vita had. Like, I don't feel that's asking too much. We all know that app was a failure. It's a bomb. Like, they really...
Even the Wii had voice chat. That's the
I'm
thing.
saying. There's no issues. They cannot come out in September and leave things as it is and then flip a switch and say, yay, everything's online. And I mean, basically, the friends list for all intents and purposes is a stalker list. It's just, I see what that person's doing right now.
It's disgusting.
I can't. I my boy Nick Fury. I can't ever send him a message. How about engage me in this game or do that or whatever. It's just so bare bones and archaic. And I'm telling them right now, like, besides that, and achievements not being there, like, these are things that are preventing the hardcore from jumping on. And to me, if they do these things, and shout out to Lord Nick Fury from Salties, we had this conversation before. This is what's preventing the hardcore from jumping in. And once the hardcore now jumping on top of that, they got the casuals. We get that, but now you want that system to really be taken serious. They've got to address those things, even if. Do you think
that's being done on purpose, though, Cognito?
Part of me thinks it's just Grandpa Nintendo again, thinking that they want a parental control better than you. At the end of the day, it's up to the parent to sit whether or not the child should be talking to X.
Nobody can be a better parent than Jim Ryan. Not even Nintendo, because Nintendo allows them crossplay.
They've got to
listen, I think this, right, and I'm just saying that the fact that it's so successful, even without these features, they get a chance to cook those features a little bit more and make sure that they're more fleshed out, opposed to launching a half-baked service and then it's really not up to par.
Lord King, I'm completely cool with that, but they have to be transparent. They have to say exactly what this $20
is. But they're winning, though. You know how arrogance comes with winning?
You're right. And that's what I'm concerned about. And I don't got
it already.
You're right. And my job is to not let them keep their feet up in the air just because the money's raking in, and they're going off in the cardboard now. That's cool.
Oh, God.
Get your online together. Get your online together, because it's
to
no
see
bueno.
Grown men in the street with the cardboard on their back. I cannot wait for this.
And the thing is, like, the stuff that I saw, like, these are adults testing this stuff out, right? So I saw Steven Totillo, like, with the backpack on, with the robot thing, going crazy from Kotaku, like. So I don't know if they're selling, different sizes or something.
I can't fit in one. Me and Anchor cannot fit in the backpack. We cannot do it. You're going to have to come with the triple XL backpack edition for the Lord King. And this is what we're looking for. If you want to get me into cardboard, I'm going to have to buy 3 packages to make a package. That's over $200 and some odd dollars. Come on, Nintendo.
No, that's all I want, man. I mean, because the system is doing tremendous. It is such a success, and just to see what they're doing and them being a player again, they just gotta just put that, that icing on the cake and a little cherry on the sundae, and then me and them is good. And I have no issues. You can do what you want, and I'm all about them expanding past the 5-6 year console life cycle and treating it like a true handheld. That means we'll get upgrade. We can get like a Switch 2XL. A couple years down the road with a more powerful chip, maybe some, backward compatibility going on. I'm good, man. I'm cool with that form factor. The double analogs, the whole thing, the Joy-Cons, everything about that system design to me is done well.
What if they release a real home system? Because
they'd be done.
what if they be like, they're gonna phase out the 3DS because the 3DS is still rocking. This is the messed up part about it it's still selling software at a high rate and hardware at a high rate that they can't cut it off if they wanted to.
Right. They're in a tough spot because it is successful. You're right. They are in a tough spot. Mm-hmm.
They're in a terrible spot, but financially, it's an amazing spot. We don't see stuff like this. This is once in a lifetime type of resurgence because they were at death's door before with that Wii U, and we really thought, oh, can they come back? We got to wait for the next system, and the hardcore stuck by it because when we saw the schematics of the new system, we were like, oh, here we go with these dudes. What it is? What's wrong with them? and then you heard just different things, and then you got it in your hand, and you were like, oh, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely 100% amazing. This is stunning. This is fantastic. This is seamless. You can do this and you can do that. Everybody has one who was able to get one, who wanted one. I believe they have one now. So you say to yourself, now, next this cardboard thing, and everybody's like, oh, come on, Nintendo, we wanted you to do this. No, they're going to go this way, and it's going to be so successful that you're going to see at least 3 people on your block with cardboard someplace around them.
Shout out to Irrelevant. He said anybody could get cardboard and print a Disney figure on it.
That's not good. I'm selling for 50. I'm selling for 50.
So, Sov, you want to finish off your topic for me?
He's out. Oh, he's out. But in summation of the topic that Sovereign brought up until he shows up again, I would like to say that Nintendo has had a bombastic. There he goes.
Mm-hmm. He's had a great year.
Did you guys ask me something?
We did. You may have to do a hard restart, bro. Like you may have to old school it.
I don't know if it's files acting up. Like I switched to Wi-Fi to see if it was
just log out and do it through your phone.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
You know what? I'm probably gonna do that.
Probably gonna do that. But yeah, just finish every talk before you go, and then we get you back.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like again, this is just so it's gonna be fun to see what they do this year. What that online service actually is and how much they actually give you for your $20. I'm not expecting much, but then again, I mean, I guess they're in a position where they, they're bringing it on all fronts. Why fail on this front? Like, why be dumb and not take the lessons that you should have obviously learned from your competitors and bring something good to the table? And then if you do, and at that price point, like, it's going to be tough to beat. Like, it's going to be really interesting what they do.
Yeah, it's a good point. And to your point, I think Lord King made a great point in that sense that now I'm concerned because they're so successful. What incentive do they have to give us that? They're like, we give you cardboard, we give you all these things, we gave you all these, non-featured online stuff, and you like it.
Are you still not entertained? Are you not entertained? I can see them standing up with the cardboard yelling that.
Yeah, I am worried that Grandpa's looking with his feet up like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know what the kids want. They don't want to talk. They don't want a message. They don't like party. They want to be social.
Nobody needs Netflix.
Nobody needs apps. Netflix. Like,
Who cares
And then,
what app?
and then because they're so successful, they're gonna hear if you're gonna hear people respond to them and tell them what they need to do, and they're just gonna be like, "No, I'm not wrong. It's the kids who are wrong."
exactly. Because, yo, Anchor,
Exactly.
you nailed it because they're so used to beating to their own drum, and this is the ultimate like beat to their own drum, right? They didn't follow the 4K narrative. They went portable, this whole thing, and they're winning with it. So now it's like, it's like that young artist who did it his way. He's selling now. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't tell him now. You know what I mean? Because
He freestyled it all the way there. I don't write my raps, and I will never write my raps. I'm gonna do it from the top because I sold 14 million from the top. Like,
I'm just nervous.
God.
I'm nervous. So it will be very interesting to see what happens in September. And shout out to Lord Sam in the chat. Winning breeds arrogance. That's my concern. Yep.
I think you know what? It's gonna be one wild ride. Because let me tell you something. If you would have told me to bet my life that Nintendo would have said, yeah, cardboard is coming out, I would have died that day because I would have said, hell no, Nintendo will not put out no cardboard. Come on. So it's over, baby.
So we're going to move on, and it's up to my topic now. So I wanted to bring this to the round table. We got some major news. Rockstar talking about that Red Dead Redemption 2 release date. Originally scheduled to launch in spring of 2018, Red Dead Redemption 2 will now be dropping on PS4 and Xbox.
That's actually not true. It was scheduled originally to be fall of 2017.
Fall of 2017. That is correct. Well, now we're updating their updated release date. That is correct, Lord Anchorman. So from fall 2017 to spring 2018, and now October 23rd, 2018 is the release date. So they made a statement. They said that we're really excited for that announcement on that date. They apologize for everyone disappointed about the delay. While we hope to have the game out sooner, we required a little extra time for polish. And then they dropped some new shots and trailers and things of that nature. So I wanted to bring something to the round table this day. And basically what I wanted to say, something a little different. And the question to the round table is, who needs to be worried now that Red Dead Redemption is dropping in October? So I'm going to bring it over to Lord Anchorman since he's our guest today. What do we feel about this? What publisher, what games need to be scared?
We'd say Call of Duty, but Call of Duty is going to Call of Duty. Like
Call of Duty, COD.
They're going to do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Battlefield, if it is coming out this year, will be fine. I think they'll. It's a first-person shooter. It's a big enough franchise where it's like okay, and if you pull it off right, you could be fine. Because this one's coming out late October. If you try to drop Battlefield, maybe early October or late November, maybe. Hopefully, early October would be probably better. You try to drop it early, people are going to play Battlefield. That's always going to happen. But especially if it's a modern Battlefield. Because they haven't done that for a couple of years now, and people have been wanting a modern Battlefield for a while. Publishers who should be worried.
Yes.
Honestly, I think Sony should be worried. Even though they have the marketing deal, the issue I feel like they're going to run into, and I've heard people say this isn't true, but until otherwise, I don't believe it. Currently, Sony has the marketing deal for Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty, and all their exclusive games. Call of Duty is dropping at the beginning of November, likely around the 7th or somewhere close to that.
Generally their time.
And Red Dead is dropping at the end of October, giving them about a 1 to 2 week barrier. If you are managing the marketing, you now have to balance between Call of Duty and Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption is going to be the bigger game. And so Activision's not going to be happy about that marketing because it's going to be a little weak this year. You can't, but I think that will be something that will kind of come into play. But another problem too is when are you dropping Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's a big date.
That game is ready. I think everyone is like that is a game that's coming out this year. God of War is coming out. God of War is coming out in April, late April. So they're not dropping it in April. They're not dropping it before April because they would have had an announcement by now. Then you got Quantum Dream, or was it Quantum Breaks? Whatever. It's Quantic Dream. I'm sorry. Quantic Dream is dropping beyond. I keep forgetting what it's called.
Detroit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But they're dropping Detroit, and we don't know when that is. I have a feeling it's going to be like early June, maybe, like just outside of the spring.
Summertime drop.
Yeah, right around the summertime. So when E3 comes around, they're like, okay, yeah, go buy our game. But then you run into the problem of when is Spider-Man going to drop?
September.
Well, that's the thing too. What else is coming out in September? Destiny.
Anthem.
But Destiny's just
Destiny.
DLC.
That's DLC, but Activision goes hard with that marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. The marketing will be there. It will be on the Sony stage at E3. There's no doubt about it. They every year, it will be there.
That's the thing, and I think with Sony though, what they're going to worry about is when do you drop Spider-Man now?
Drop it around a Marvel movie. They got.
Well, that's the thing. There are no Marvel movies.
When is Infinity War?
Infinity War comes out.
It was May.
Okay,
right.
There you go, Soft. You sound good.
And that's early
so
May.
Then drop
you got God of
May.
War late. No, you got God of War in late April.
So
it's going to be right back to back, and they still have no announcement yet. Here's the thing. I look at it. The only two safe dates you could do is early September, so you're still in the summer months. And because I was trying to think, like, what can you kind of pair it with? Or, and I thought of this one that would be the smartest idea. You drop it in December.
You drop what in December?
No. You drop Spider-Man in December, and you kind of co-market it with the new Spider-Man movie that's coming out in December.
You know what? No. They can actually co-market it with Venom. Because Venom is going to drop before the Miles Morales Spider-Verse movie. So it can actually...
Do we have a release date for Venom?
Well, for the Venom
movie? Isn't it Venom this year?
We don't know
Venom
when.
is this year.
When is it?
So when we don't know yet. They're going to give us... after Infinity War...
That's a bad sign, dude. That's a real bad sign. You normally give out a release date like a year in advance, dude.
All right. The reason why you don't have all that roadmap and stuff is because Sony's in charge. That's one. Two, there's a lot of stuff that's wrapped up in it that after Infinity War, you're going to understand how the symbiote got here, why it's upset with Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and how it made it to Eddie Brock, a.k.a. What's this guy's name? That's doing Eddie Brock in the Venom movie.
Oh, you mean
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. So how it got to him. So if you give Sony is very poor with this part of it, like keeping secrets, because they weren't supposed to say a lot of things. They weren't supposed to say that it was going to be a shared universe. The head of Sony movie division said, it's a shared universe, and Kevin Feige was like, what are you doing? Don't worry when it comes to that part. I think they should pair it with the Venom movie to have that whole Spidey thing going on with that. That'll work properly there. And as far as what games should be afraid of October, every game that has a story base, a single player type of feel to it should be afraid. Shouldn't launch in that month because it's going to run into the whole Tomb Raider thing. Remember when we had that problem with why did they release Tomb Raider then?
Yes.
And you're going to have a great game go up against a colossal game. This game is going to steamroll.
Absolutely. Let's get Solve. What do you feel now that we got the new Red Dead 2? This is your baby, right?
Yeah, that's my baby. I mean, Red Dead is my game of the generation, last generation. And I came to it 2 years later than when it actually dropped. I think the game is amazing, an amazing game, just an amazing world to inhabit. So
the question is, who needs to be scared?
I think anybody that's not Call of Duty. And even the Spider-Man I can sort of see, because Spider-Man is such a known quantity already. It's so popular that it could, regardless of where you put it, do well, but it's still gonna lose sales. Like if you look at Red Dead is gonna impose itself on whatever's around it. Right. So if you want it free and clear of anything, then you just run away. And to me, there's stuff that's gonna get pushed out of 2018 because of this move by Rockstar. It's just anything that was gonna be, it's not gonna be ready earlier in the year. That was gonna be ready at the end of the year. That was coming out anywhere near this game. Now the question is, well, can we double down and try to get it out earlier? Or is that not feasible? Is that not feasible, and we have to push it into 2019? Because the thing about it is, nobody really wants to release their game in December. It's regardless of, again, maybe Spider-Man could thrive in December because it's Spider-Man. But I'm sure if you asked them and they said, well, okay, we're now going to be able to launch in the holiday window. Do you want December? I'm sure if you ask them, they say no. I'd rather February. I'd rather late January by ourselves with nothing else around us than December. Because in December you still have a lot of people who spent all of their money on stuff for Christmas that they've been purchasing and whatnot, and maybe there isn't enough money left to get Spider-Man for a lot of people. So. Shout out in the chat to Demigod. He said Days Gone is getting that holiday release. I don't know.
Nah,
Days Gone is. Days Gone is definitely one of the ones that's getting pushed.
Yeah, Days
I don't
agree
agree
with
with that.
Dead. Like what they're gonna do is they're gonna be forced into a situation where they're gonna have to now compete against Last of Us because they're not gonna send that game out to die.
Days Gone. You know what else can get delayed and can maybe use it just to get away from the bad press is Detroit. Just
get away from all this negative
stuff. Wasn't Detroit scheduled? Did we have any official news that has been pushed out of that kind of spring kind of a?
No, it was never actually scheduled for that date. Like if you actually look at them at PSX, David Cage goes out there and says, "Yeah, we're coming out spring 2018," and every PlayStation exec is like, "What?"
Nah.
Shut his mic off.
Yeah, I mean,
everything scatters, man. Everything scatters because the thing is, the legend of Red Dead has only grown since the game came out.
Absolutely, but here's the thing, Sov. I got to bring it back to you. Like, what about the known commodities that we assumed was going to drop October? Usually, EA drops a Battlefield generally around that time. Microsoft generally drops one of its exclusives around that time. You
already saw.
It won't affect them. It won't affect Microsoft because of Games Pass.
Yeah,
like it's free. It's $10.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, Games Pass. And when it comes to EA and the Battlefield, when it comes to EA and the Battlefield, it's going to depend on the quality of that game in comparison to Call of Duty. If it's the same old, if it does like what happened with Battlefield 1, and the Call of Duty that year was Infinite Warfare.
Yes.
Right. So I mean, it was people preferred that game so much to Infinite Warfare that it kind of helped itself. At the same time, it did poach sales from Titanfall. So it's one of those things like you can't have too many shooters.
Hold on.
At that time.
I gotta stop you for a second. The chat, Lord Sam, I love you, bro. But how dare you say I'd rather Detroit die than Days Gone? How dare you come from my Detroit and wanted to die underneath the wrath of the Red Dead October? You can't do that to my damn Detroit.
Nah, I ain't say nobody said die. It's just gonna move. I want to play that game, but hey,
if it's one or the other, you gotta die.
Well, take the Sons of Anarchy with zombies. He could go. Leave my
Sons of Anarchy with zombies.
Yeah, take them out of here. Take it.
The thing with Days Gone is that they have to make sure they give that game enough time before Last of Us 2. It can't be too close to that game. So you have to give that game time to breathe unless you're very just willing to put it out there to die. Which, as long as that game has been in development, I think you want to get a return on investment. Like, you don't want to put it out there to be devoured. So it's going to be interesting. This does a lot of things. A lot of machinations are going to be happening right now.
Absolutely. And I will tell you this, though. One thing that we're forgetting about is that Sea of Thieves could kind of breathe a little right now, if you think about it. Because Red Dead was coming in their month on their neck. And as much as Sea of Thieves has been tremendous and the Twitch numbers and everything has been fantastic, that's a hard, overtake. So now Sea of Thieves can have the whole March to itself. I think that's the other effect of this that people are not seeing. But on that note, speaking of Sea of Thieves, we go to move on a little bit. But I just figured we have a little fun with the Red Dead Redemption 2 delay date. Unless anybody else got more on it, we'll move on. All right.
No.
So Lord Addict, he had moved on, but his topic was Sea of Thieves, and I wanted to bring that to the attention of the lords at the round table, which was now that it's been out, and I believe he wanted to get into how important this title is for Microsoft, and where do we see the success going. So now that we tied that into the whole Red Dead, and now it's having its month to itself, let's talk about some Sea of Thieves. Let's get Lord Sovereign, because he's been in and out. It seems like he's in mostly now.
I'm in now. Well, I didn't get to play the beta. I downloaded it and I just didn't have time to jump in, so I didn't get to see anything. But from what I've seen people talking about and what I've seen in videos, I guess the one gripe that people have is that the world seems kind of empty. And that, again, for beta, they just wanted to get you in there. I'm sure there's going to be a public beta before the game actually comes out, so they could test these servers and try to, really break the game and see how it holds up. Mm-hmm. But for me, like the emergent gameplay that's possible in this world is, it's very exciting to see what they can do with it. It's a matter of them not dropping the ball with it and giving you a lot of substance, giving you a lot of different missions to go on, things that you can do by yourself. I think that's one gripe people have, that it seems almost super difficult to be able to do anything on your own. But I think, like, if they inhabit the world properly and it's always something to do, and again, the missions are like multi-tiered where you have to, go get this, go do this, and there's variety. I think they have a hit on their hand, an absolute hit. Like I saw video of guys like, you're on your ship and then you see another player in the distance and they sort of like wave to each other like, hey, what's going on? But it's not, you don't know if it's a friendly wave or it's like, I know you're there, dude.
You don't really know.
Yeah, and like I've heard stories of guys like, drawing people in towards their galleon and then like jumping into the water, swimming underneath, and then like, Pearl Harboring the other galleon that's incoming and like killing everybody, and then sinking the ship and stealing their booty. Like stuff like that is just awesome to me, man. Like, and if that pans out on a moment to moment basis, that's gonna be fantastic. I'm excited for this game, and I'm not excited for multiplayer stuff ever.
Lord Ank, what do you feel? Dude. Sea of Thieves and the importance for Microsoft.
Sea of Thieves, like, well, one is for Microsoft. It represents a lot of the stuff that, like, okay, we're finally getting a game we've been promised that people wrote off years ago. It's finally coming out, and people finally got to play it and see for themselves, like, they weren't joking about that water.
That water?
Oh my god,
my lord!
I can't. Like, you watch it and you're like, oh yeah, that looks good, but it's entirely different when you see it for yourself in person. Oh my god! Like, it just,
people are getting legit sick. Like
people get sick.
Yeah, the people who have, like, what is it? When you're on a boat, you see
yeah, you can see.
Yeah, people are like they're getting legit sick. That's a testament to that water physics and what's going on there. But continue, Lozo. I'm sorry.
It's just like it really is amazing. Like, that game, and you're totally right about the emergent gameplay. Like, okay, and like playing by yourself, yeah, you're not getting the full experience because the game is built for other people. Like that's just how it is. It's built to be played with other people. And that game, though, oh my god, it really is. Like, you could do some crazy stuff. Like, I ended up, I'm trying to think of a good little short story I can give you. We had an opportunity where we were playing. I was playing with Fame, Mike, and Sam.
And we know Anchorman stories are legendary.
No, so we were playing, and we're on the 4-man ship, and we're like we were just trolling around, having a good time, running into other players, and so we were player killing. We were going at them. It was having a fun time, and so we were docking. Like, we didn't have any money, but we were docking for the night because it was dark. We couldn't see anything, so we just we pulled in for our ship. We had it by the by the dock, and we're like, all right, we're just gonna kind of wait it out, get a little drunk, have a good time. And so one by one, we're getting assassinated in the night, and we're like, what's going on? Who is this? So we keep getting killed. And so we keep spawning back, and some guy had snuck onto our ship because we killed his crew the entire time. And so he snuck onto our ship, and so they were like they were getting prepared on the beach to shoot at us during the day, but he was in there assassinating us at night, so we couldn't get prepared. And so it was crazy though. And then there's another time where I was playing by myself, so I'm on my one little dinghy ship, and so I'm kind of like. I'm just kind of rolling around like, okay, I'm gonna grab this chest, and so I found like a little area there with a sunken ship. I go in there, go get it, and like I was scared because the shark scared the shit out of me. I was so scared, and so they so we're just kind of like, okay, we're gonna come back out. So I get on my ship, and so I start seeing this galleon in the distance. I'm like, are they following me? And then I saw. I'm like, oh no! So I'm starting trying to avoid them, swerving back and forth, and I see a storm, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for the storm. So I go into the storm. My compass is just whacked out, and I can see them trying to follow me. And it's getting dark, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta get out of here. So I keep going. I blow out all the lanterns so they can't see. There's no light source coming from my ship anymore. So I'm going in dark, and so then I drop the anchor right next to a little outcropping of rocks, so I couldn't be seen. I pulled up the mast so you couldn't see anything. So I was just I waited it out.
I love this. You make full Cognito. I love it.
So I'm like, okay, let's wait. And they still kept coming. I'm like, oh damn, this is gonna be bad. So I leave the chest on the top of the ship so they can see it.
Oh, you a savage.
And so I jump off, go into the water, and I'm like, all right, let's go. I see the ship come by. I'm like, okay. And so they go in there, and so I come out, and I go onto their ship, and I see a keg of gunpowder in their hold. And I'm like, this is going to be dope. So I fire my pistol at it, blow it up, so their ship starts sinking.
Oh.
And so I jump back on my ship and drive away. And so they're trying to follow me. And so like when they're taking on water, and I look behind me and I see it sinking slowly. I just went back out my chest and I was out. That is amazing. That's stuff you can only. It's like PUBG. Yeah. It's unscripted, but you remember it. You remember the intensity.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. And it's funny what you say. I love how you put the treasure right on top so they can see to lure them. That's savage.
Look, the booty is out on top of the shelf. Come get the booty.
Look, Sea of Thieves. Well, how important you feel this thing is? Like, what's your whole impressions of it now?
Well, I didn't play the beta, and I haven't. I got it for free. Shout out to Aaron Greenberg. I got the beta for free from him, from FanFest. And this changes my stance. Monster Hunter World changes my stance on beta. Because had I played that game in beta, I would have never purchased it. So from now on, because before I was like, I'm not playing betas no more. No, I'm going to touch every beta I get my finger on. Oh, it's over now. No, thank you, Monster Hunter World, for costing me money and showing me the light. Because I didn't want to see Sea of Thieves in beta. Right. But after this, I was like, man, I should have saw it. Everybody had such a great time with it. I thought, again, Phil put it in a position where it cannot lose at all. No matter how you look at it, it's going to win. It can only boast the Game Pass up. So as the anchor, funny, right? Anchor. Nice. As the anchor for Game Pass, I believe that it's going to do very well. A multiplayer game that's going to keep people enthused for long periods of time. In it, the DLC will be launched in Game Pass for free, so you have like no worries in playing the game. You just want to get on and have fun. And Anchorman just explained to you that he had fun by himself without a squad and took out a squad. So that within itself gives me the confidence to say that, I'm going to play the game. I'm going to touch it because I got Game Pass. I'm going to play the game. I was going to buy the game regardless. So, but now, after hearing how much fun everybody's been having, y'all said that y'all parked up for the night to drink because you didn't have money to drive. Like that's insane to me. So yeah, and somebody decided that they wanted revenge on you and was killing y'all off one by one at night, and y'all didn't know who was doing stuff like that. Gets me into games and shows you experiences where it can be more than just a linear path. So yeah, no, I'm definitely about it. I want it so bad, so I'm down for it.
Absolutely, I'm in agreement with the Lord here. I mean, it's definitely one of those things that I think Anchor just nailed. Just that persistence, that anything that happened, it becomes your personal story, and it's just absolutely hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's one thing that really draws me to it. The other thing is, I do want them to give solo players a little more things to do and more incentive, just for the guys that want to play that way. We understand that it's made for the multiplayer. I get it. But one thing that I thought was interesting was the studio head, Craig Duncan from Rare. He had jumped on Twitter recently. He was talking about how like he was noticing people saying how like there was like 100 players in the world, and he was saying that it's not correct. And apparently, Sea of Thieves have dynamic matchmaking. So what would happen is like, you know, depending on the world and stuff like that, there's not enough players in the instance. They'll fill it for new ones. If you end up being alone, they'll migrate you to another server, and it's all seamless. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really cool. You know what I mean?
Power of the cloud.
There you go.
Yeah, how come nobody's talking about this cloud? How come nobody's talking about the cloud?
You don't want to give any more props.
I want to clarify that you can play
Fab Gaming, baby.
You can play Sea of Thieves by yourself. It's the same amount of gameplay across the board. Like that's the only thing I get to people saying like, oh, there's nothing to do. It's like, no, there's plenty to do. Mm-hmm. It is built to be played with other people. Yeah.
And it's just more difficult also because like I think the whole pirate's life the pirate's life thing really holds true. Like if you're running around in that world solo, you have nobody to cover your back. Like, and there's a lot of shystiness going on, as it should. I mean, a bunch of pirates. Like, so if you're by yourself, you're running a huge risk of somebody just coming up behind you and stabbing you, ambushing you, whatever. Like, and you know what? That could be very cool if you're willing to take that on. Like, if that's part of the world, if that's how the world operates, hey, so be it, you know?
I like that aspect that you don't have to wait for your friends because, you know, I thought I was going to have a bad experience when I was playing PUBG by myself. And no, I actually had some of the funnest experiences by myself because you don't take certain things for granted. Like, you know, like a lot of times you hear your boy come inside the house while you're inside the house. You're like, oh, yeah, that's my boy. Whatever. Now, your awareness is heightened. Yeah, you absolutely can. You will punch somebody in the face. You land next to them. It's like, so I can imagine being on a pirate ship, and that was ingenious, putting the booty out there. Look at it. Come get it. It's available. And you go on their ship, and you blow it up, and then you jump back on yours like, me hearties. Like, if only they had, like, proximity chat where you'd be like, gotcha.
They do.
There it is. That's for me. That's for me. Because I can talk crap to you. And Monkey Punch knows I talk so much crap when I'm playing games. That's why I don't live stream. Y'all not getting the same King David that you get on the podcast. No, it's different. You're getting very nasty King David. You don't want that King David.
You're savage. But yeah, it's good to see, man. Good to see the success, and you know, we realize how important this thing is to Microsoft, and it's probably one of the first party games from Microsoft that I've seen people really excited about that wasn't part of the Big Mac Claude 5
trilogy.
Yeah, like
the whole trilogy.
This is really cool to see, and I hope this game has success. So we're gonna get to the final topic.
Yay, my topic. Yay.
So it looks like we came a little late. Actually, I believe the news dropped after ILP last week. That's why we weren't able to jump on it. But with the Microsoft acquisition rumors, so obviously that we've been hearing, I believe it was Polygon that was the first to break it, and they heard the tea leaves that Microsoft was not only looking to acquire one, but three major acquisitions. One was PUBG, the second was Valve, and the third was EA. to the Lords to get our take on it. Lord King, I hear you chomping at the bit. So what do you feel about these rumors? And maybe Lord Phil dipping into the war chest possibly. What do you feel about all this?
Well, I'm gonna bow my head and tip my hat to Phil Dominus. Because he's showing his true colors. Me and Lord Cognito was talking about this earlier during the week. We try not to engage in conversations that's going to be topics for the show because we lose a lot of our content in our bantering back and forth because we've been going for a minute, right? So we purposely stayed away from this conversation here. But what I did tell him that Phil is on some old Highlander stuff. Like there can only be one, right? So now he's saying, let me look at the chess piece. Now that he's controlling the purse strings, he got the wallet. And he's looking out and saying, who can I acquire to take away this conversation that we don't have first-party games? Because if he purchases EA, he has Titanfall, he has all of EA Sports games, and how can I control it as far as this goes and do this? I could put all EA Sports games and absorb EA Access and put it in Game Pass, and then sell those games, keep them multi-plat, but sell those games on other platforms to make up the share and money over that side. So we're getting money both ways, but all the content and everything drops first on our platform. Now, PUBG, that makes more sense when it comes to it because they have invested with these guys, they've worked with these guys have a home here, and certain things that just happened on the Steam level of PUBG where they took away family share because of the cheating and stuff like that looks like it's more in line with them. Yeah, they did.
I'd heard that, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's more in line with a Microsoft chain of thought. So of course that can work there. But then you got to look at the Steam aspect of the PUBG that brings it down to the Steam and Valve. Now that is a wholly owned company within itself. It's not a public traded company, and you would have to go through Gabe, and Gabe is sitting on mountains of money. So what will make Gabe sell Steam to Microsoft? But it goes back to that T-shirt that Phil Dominus was wearing when he had that, the Valve stuff and the Steam stuff going on there. So you really got to start looking at all these little dots all over the place. And does it connect? Yeah, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Maybe they do connect. Maybe they don't connect.
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. We'll never know.
We'll never know until they actually connect. But what I've never been wrong on, what nobody ever gives me credit for, is Phil is on the move. And all his moves that he has been making, and I've backed this guy 100% with conviction, he has been showing that my faith in him is warranted. Your faith in him is warranted. He took away the power aspect. He removed pieces off the board. He gave you a different narrative and gave you pride back in your system. Now the games. Everybody's talking about this Sea of Thieves. He found a way to get it to your pocket for free if you subscribe to Game Pass while showing people that Game Pass is a viable option. Now, if he can acquire, my opinion is he acquires all three, the hardest one being Steam. If he acquires PUBG first, EA second, Steam last, what type of E3 are you looking at?
That's Skynet, bro. That's Skynet. This is Skynet now.
I mean, honestly, though, there's really, in terms of the game narrative, there's really no point in buying Steam. In all honesty, buying Valve, you might get some IPs out of it. Yeah, like IPs people are dying for. Like, just imagine if you had Gabe Newell himself come out of Xbox E3 and just have a big 3 on the stage.
What happens then? What happens?
That would be huge. But like, it would be one thing if they only buy the studio aspect, the studio which isn't doing jack, by the way. So I mean, that's the thing.
Doesn't that threaten you?
Me?
It threatens you personally because you're Bethesda. You are the face of Bethesda. So doesn't it threaten you? No, listen. Don't listen. I don't care what anybody says. Please, don't. He knows he is. He's smiling on his keyboard right now. He's like, "Thanks, King," because we we had a stellar year. Yes, I am. So I'm just saying, like,
I'm not sure what you mean by it threatens me. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Yeah, like, all right, no, but threatens Bethesda, being you the ruler of Bethesda, Bethesda land,
Out of control.
doesn't their IPs? Didn't they have like direct competition? Like, what was better, what was not? You know what I'm saying? So doesn't that, like, Microsoft getting that? Doesn't that put them at odds with Bethesda in the terms of IP versus IP?
I don't
If
think
they
so.
actually get that?
Me personally, I don't think it would really.
I don't see what the issue is.
I don't think
That's
it
what
would
I'm
have
trying
any
to
issue. Yeah, that's just them doing them. I don't think.
Like,
they have.
I
their
think
own
the Bethesda relationship is still going to be strong because I'll tell you right now, Bethesda's going to jump on that Game Pass. They'll do it.
That's
They're gonna do it.
That'll be mean.
Because, like, literally, look at all the games that have come out, all the single player games. Everybody said they were going to support, and nobody did. And like the sales just weren't there for them. Like, hey, Microsoft comes out and says, "Hey, let's do a little deal here." Like, that's it. That's all you got to do. Like, they have a guaranteed network of sales. Like, your hardcore people are going to buy it still, clearly. Your hardcores are going to do it.
Yeah.
But still, like, you have an opportunity here to make some good money.
No, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
And, like, if they told you Wolfenstein 3 was going to be on Game Pass day and date.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Oh, man. You talking about the next, Skyrim or the next one? Oh,
well, I don't know if they can do it with Skyrim or Fallout. I think those are too big. But, like, there's single player games that did not get picked up that well.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, there's an opportunity there.
Absolutely. Lord Star, what do you feel about the whole Microsoft acquisition rumors, and then also your order of reality? What do you feel that possibly?
Well, first of all, I'd like to mention the omission that was made by the rest of the lords. PlayFab Gaming that they acquired.
Oh my God! Yes, they acquired PlayFab.
They're
Lord,
burgeoning cloud-based computing efforts.
Yes.
Got the boot on our neck today, boy. He
ain't gonna stop off that cloud.
His cloud right now. He's not gonna stop.
So yeah, they're gonna. The premium cloud is in effect, and we will see it. We'll see it again in Sea of Thieves and a Crackdown 3.
No doubt.
But yeah, with everything else, look, the buying EA would give them a quick way to immediately acquire IP that may be at some point along in development that they can bring a game out faster. But so that would be a quick way to solve that first party problem. Right. But the problem with that is that EA has a lot of deals with Disney in particular. Let's just talk about Disney on its own. Disney would not be in line to just have their games on an Xbox platform if that were going to happen. They make too much money on the PlayStation platform. They're going to, same with Nintendo. They would not be happy with them being bought out and then it only living on a Microsoft platform. It wouldn't happen. Like, it just wouldn't happen.
Would they though? I mean, they're doing it for PlayStation.
Well, are they doing it for PlayStation? I mean, okay. The thing with the Spider-Man is a Sony-owned license still.
No,
I mean, as much as
they lost the license, dude. They've never had access to the Spider-Man game license except for the movie games.
Right.
Sony's never had control of those. Activision held the rights.
Right. Okay, so this
lost
is their
the rights at the end of 2013. That's why we had that really rushed Deadpool game, the Deadpool remaster. And Ultimate Alliance, they have no plan of making a new Ultimate Alliance or Deadpool. They were just like,
so the Spider-Man license for movies doesn't cross over into games at all. The Spider-Man license for not at all. It's just a film license.
The only time it will make an exception is if it's a part of the movie license, like Amazing Spider-Man 2, the game that was tied to the movie. But even then, Activision still had control.
So if you take it that way, then it's a willingness on on Sony to spend the money to get the license to have it, to have it on their console exclusively. And I think their position in the market helps the argument, right? Like Microsoft can't come out and say, hey, man, I want this exclusively on Xbox. How many Xboxes do you have in the wild? Oh, 35 million. They're going to look at that and be like, I don't know. Like it's going to be a hard sell. So for Microsoft to swoop in and take
Anywhere
EA.
title. Unless it's a Play Anywhere title.
I don't know how
PCs is in a while.
Yeah, you can play it on PC as well. So I mean, to me, that was my issue with that. I don't see it happening, but it is a quick way to get some IP. Like to me, the most interesting one was the Valve thing, because for me, Valve, if you go with the narrative that they've been putting out there recently with this games as a service thing, everything they're doing with Game Pass and what we assume is going to be their movements towards the future. It would make sense that they take Valve and you get some IPs out of it that have been dormant for a while. I'm sure everybody would like to see another Portal. I'm sure if they came out and said they were going to revive Half-Life in some way, shape, or form, people would be excited for that. But to me, if they would just, when you talk about Valve, if you do take over Steam, that is a whole, to me, that's more in line with what our thinking was on their big picture stuff and their games as a service and the Xbox app and having Xbox on everything at some point in the future, because that just gives you, that just expands everything to you. And to me, like if they were to make that move, I would say you're going to see Xbox on everything including PlayStation at some point in the future, including PlayStation. That's too big of a power move. So to me, that was the most interesting move. The PUBG thing. At this point, yes, it's doing phenomenally on Xbox. If they had purchased it before the success, I would have been more in line with it. I mean, to keep it for them, sure. I mean, yeah, you could pay for it and keep it for yourself and not let Sony have access to it. I think if the Valve purchase were to go down, then it makes sense to then purchase PUBG and then be like, okay, the PUBG, we're going to give you this as a service, but you're going to pay us for it. So, if PUBG is on PlayStation's playing Microsoft for that. If PUBG happens to go to Nintendo, they're playing Microsoft for that. So I think buying PUBG after a purchase of Valve would make more sense.
Hey man, this is interesting. This is interesting. I mean, when the news broke, I was like, damn, didn't break when the Lords it was on the Lord's Day. I wanted to get at this so bad. Yeah, this is interesting, man. I mean, I think I just have a funny take on all three. I think for PUBG, to me, that's the no-brainer. Obviously, they have the relationship right now. To lock that down as an exclusive, we know exclusives are a problem for them, as far as 2017 was concerned. 2018, they're trying to right the wrong. I think that would be a huge get. I mean, we've already seen the success of PUBG and what it can do, and to have that as a Microsoft stable, especially it fits with the Microsoft multiplayer ecosystem, right? So to me, that's the no-brainer that they should do. As far as the EA, I think shout out to Salty's podcast. I was on there. We were talking about this stuff before as well. I think it's just one of those things that it may be a long shot, but if the rumor was to be true, I could kind of see that working too. Like I could kind of see a situation where it's like, okay, somehow there's some type of marriage between the EA access and the Game Pass services, and either you tier them or you just kind of absorb EA access into it. And I don't see a situation where like Madden and those titles are exclusive to Microsoft, but I kind of see it like a Minecraft deal where it's like, okay, you can be on Sony platforms and whatever, but obviously Microsoft is going to benefit. But I could see down the road with future IPs, like some future IPs being exclusive, from different studios, stuff like that, kind of launching in Game Pass and that kind of working. And also EA has always had a strong relationship with Microsoft. When the Xbox One debuted, they were on that stage. Obviously, when Peter Moore was the head of EA, we already know the relationship there between him and Xbox. They've always kind of maintained friendliness, kind of thing. So again, out of the realm of possibility. Now, as far as the Valve, I found that one probably the hardest to believe. Not saying it's not possible, but me personally, I have my own selfish reasons. Shout out to Lord Sam because he said it in the chat. I just want to see PC guys in their feelings a little bit. That would be so funny and this is just me completely starting console war foolishness. I'll be the first to admit it right now. I'm raising my hand. But it would be funny to see Microsoft try to take control of that space or try to integrate it in some way, and just to see what the ramifications of that would be. I think it would be hilarious.
I think them just putting their logo on top of Steam, where it just says Microsoft Steam.
Oh my god! Shout out to relevant.
Don't touch.
Keep calling it Windows.
Yeah, listen. Don't touch any aspect. Don't change a thing. Just put at the top of the name Microsoft Steam.
Yeah, because I heard the origins of that relationship wasn't really good at all. Like he was trying to make Steam almost Linux based, just to Windows in the jump. So the fact that it was even mentioned, I'm like, interesting.
But you notice that Phil has a way of talking to people and calming down. Because remember the T-shirts. Don't dismiss these T-shirts as it's just tomfoolery. Listen, man, I'm telling you this. We put on our T-shirts when we did this video pod, right? So we knew by putting on the T-shirts, it was a visual representation of us, right? So you don't think, Ed, he's going on these stages and it's going to be shown all over the world to wear a T-shirt that has anything to do with Valve?
Which T-shirt specifically? I'm trying to remember.
Remember, it was I know Anchorman. I know you remember the T-shirt.
It was E3 of 2016, but it was the supposed thing that it was associated with. Again, this is what they said, was that you can look what your friends are playing on PC. Like,
That's what they
you can look at
said
someone's playing World of Warcraft, or like, oh look, they're playing World of Warcraft, or oh look, they're playing PUBG. That isn't coming to Xbox yet.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
right. So yeah, he doesn't do things in a vacuum. He understands that he's being watched at all times. So these T-shirts shouldn't be taken lightly. Limbo and stuff, things of that nature. Understand there's a rhyme and reason for everything, and to be in a public space and to just put a display on to show your allegiance in some form of fashion, isn't that an olive branch across the road to Gabe? Doesn't Gabe look at that like, oh wow, that's crazy? That's nice.
You gotta see, man. All I'm saying is it definitely looks, we don't know what's going to happen, but it definitely looks like Microsoft is attempting to make some type of acquisition soon. So we'll see which of the three.
This fire, baby. Something happening.
Or if any will be true besides PlayFab for Lord Sov.
The cloud happened. The cloud.
It happened, baby.
It happened already.
We're gonna wrap the show as long as everybody's got their points on Microsoft acquisitions. So new ILP poll this week, and we're gonna keep with that theme. With the recent speculation of Microsoft looking to acquire PUBG, EA, and Valve, which rumored acquisition would be best for Microsoft's vision? A, PUBG to secure a dominant exclusive. B, EA to integrate into Game Pass and more exclusives as well. C, Valve to merge into the PC space. Or D, all of them Skynet takeover. That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the vote. Hit the ILP Twitter polls hard when they go up. Thank you, Lord Anchorman, for coming in our darkest hour. Saving the day. Lord Attic had to leave. It came through. So much appreciate. Where can I find people find? We didn't see any multiverse. What's going on? Talk to us.
No, Microsoft hit me with that yesterday. Yeah, that's the old one. Microsoft really hit me with the bad update there. Like, it was the most inconveniently timed thing. It lasted 3 hours.
Damn.
I couldn't believe it took that long.
That sucks. I hear you, bro. All right, so the multiverse will be back in effect. All right.
It will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. We got Rick Lagnisi from Warhorse Studios to promote the new Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Okay.
So we'll be on.
No doubt. We appreciate that, man. Also, some dual host duty possibly next week for Lord Cognito.
Yeah. We got to whip these people into shape.
You're going to be able to control, the Illuminati Lords over here?
Hell no. We're going to run ripshot all over you.
No, appreciate you, Ekin, for coming through, man. Helping us out as always. Lord Sovereign. Now that we've got him back into the same universe with us.
he was universe hopping.
Yeah, man. He was in the other Marvel Cinematic Universe. He kept
shrinking.
How you doing, sir? Where can the pod people find you?
Sorry about the technical difficulties. I have no idea what's going on. So now it's going to be my afternoon now to figure out what the heck is going on with my computer and my internet. But apart from that, the good people could find me on Twitter, Lord Sov ILP, and on PSN and Xbox Live at BX Sovereign.
No doubt. And of course, the excess gamer himself, Illuminati Lord. You might have to get that title.
Yes. You know what? I'll take it because I am a conspiracy theorist at heart, through and through. But y'all can catch me on PUBG right after this podcast. That's exactly what you can catch. And if y'all on, I'll definitely play. Remember, it's King David OTW on Xbox Live. I'm going to definitely be playing that. Also, I'm going to run out and purchase these tickets for Black Panther. Get these shows locked down because it's about to be crazy. I have family flying in next week. So it's just going to be a very joyous occasion. Do it as a squad, see stuff, and have a good time because I've been anticipating this movie for a long time. And it seems like they did it right.
Which reminds me, I got an article coming up about Black Panther later this week.
Nice. Can't wait to check that out. Yeah, and of course, it's Lord Cognito here, and the gaming realness was spread today. Thanks for everyone for coming out. The chat was fantastic, and I appreciate you guys waiting for us while we paid the bills with PAX East, so to speak. But man, thanks for hitting the like, and make sure you subscribe to the ILP on all the Inner Circle Network media outlets, including YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. Links in the description. All of the support really helps. Lord Cognito himself will not be here next Sunday. I have to attend a funeral. I have some family stuff to take care of. Not looking forward to, but I know the Lords are gonna hold me down, and you never know. I might get a surprise Lord Cognito popping if everything works out and UK data rates work with my phone.
Afternoon, chaps.
Yeah, he
might be out there with James. He might pop in with James.
That's right. You know what? I'm gonna highlight on my UK Lords, man. The premium Brit. I'm gonna highlight y'all because I definitely can't make the trip all doom and gloom. I'm gonna definitely need to hit up the pubs, so some cool spots and maybe some what's very English, fish and chips, and some ale at the pub. Let me know because I'm definitely gonna.
Def Stringers from UK.
Oh, Def Stringers from UK. Definitely hit me in the DMs, bro. I'm dead serious. Any fans of the Lords, and if you guys are out there, I would definitely be.
Oh, you're gonna get ribbed upon. Let's go.
Man, I got Lord Cognito has British roots too, man. So it's not making fun of myself. So don't even worry about it. But man. So make sure you show some love to the Lord, though.
Yeah, blue blood.
That was mad bougie.
He sip his tea and crumpets here, blue blood.
Thanks for everyone for showing support. Enjoy your Sunday. It's the Super Bowl. Get your boxes done. Everybody get ready.
Oh, reminds me. Wow. I gotta do that.
See, there you go.
Yeah. He said, oh, man, I gotta get this money in.
And on that note, we out of here. Peace.